Good afternoon and welcome to 90 Minutes Live, which this afternoon finds us at the Hexhurst Stadium in Welwyn Garden City for action in Southern League Division 1 Central between Welwyn Garden City and the visitors from Kings Langley. It's 21 days and 7 games is what's in front of Mark Weatherstone's side as the race for not only the playoffs but the championship in the division hots up. The top 4 this afternoon are separated by just 2 points, and any one of Bedford, AFC Dunstable, Biggleswade Town or Ware could find themselves on top of the pile come about 10 to 5. Here it's all about Welwyn Garden City getting those games in hand. They're currently in 7th place in the table, 29 played, 47 points, 7 points off the final playoff place, but most importantly they've got 4 games in their hand on Waltham Abbey. Full live commentary in association with Easy Shelf Direct coming up from myself, Peter Hill, and joining me to my right hand side in this balmy conditions here of about 20 degrees. No big coat this afternoon for Simon Alamandi.
Yeah, good afternoon, Pete. Good afternoon, everyone. And yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful day, as you say. So looking forward to this one. But I mean, as you say, Pete, you know, Welwyn Garden City, you know, they're well in with the chance for the playoff spaces. But you know, those games they've got in hand and the fixture schedule that they've got coming up is, you know, hopefully it isn't going to work against them. I think that could be the only problem.
Yeah, it is going to be the issue. The other issue for Mark Weatherstone is injuries and unavailability, because his 2 first-choice central defenders are out for the rest of the season. James Kolosky has done an ACL. We wish him and Josh Steele, who's unlikely to play again this season, well. Also this afternoon, they're penalised by the lack of their skipper as well. Brad Watkins is unavailable. So Mark makes 2 changes to the team that won here. And talking to Phil Ravitz, the press officer before the game, we're a little bit fortunate to beat Barton Rovers here in the week. So Welwyn Garden City will start with Donovan Green in goal. James Mully will continue at right back. Ryan Kerwin at left back. 2 central defenders, Yazin Boudahu, who comes back into the reckoning after more or less 4 or 5 months out. It's his 167th appearance at Welwyn Garden City, though, so plenty of experience there, alongside Alex Harris, who was man of the match here against Barton on Thursday. In midfield, Manny Yaboa, first time for us to see him. He's on dual registration from Wingate and Finchley, alongside Gucci and Charlie McDonald. And then the 3-man front line, Derno Winter, Linton Goss, 8 goals in 9 games for him, and Cyrus Babai back in the starting lineup. On the bench, Josh Bryant, Henry Jones, Bailey Stevenson, Ryan Ansell, a young 18-year-old who signed forms a week ago, and Harvey Steele. As far as Jordan Parks, the Kings Langley manager, well, he makes 5 changes from the team we watched this time last week at Ware, where they were defeated 3-0. They'll start with Gabriel Ortelli in goal. Lorenzo Johnson, Michael Gablar, Will Bishop, Hugo Atkinson, Jarrell Johnson, Louis Collier, Sam Murphy, Rennie Howe, Lewis Smith and Tammy Akamboise. And on the substitutes bench, Alfie Gain, Julius Pasio, the goalkeeper, Jake Tibbett, Evan Napier and the manager himself, Jordan Parks. Our referee is Declan Wyatt from Surrey. He's a chartered surveyor by trade, as I just found, as Linda takes her usual picture of us. She must have a whole album full of us now, you know. And referee's assistants, Harry Yellen and Jordan Critchlow. So that's dotted the I's and crossed the T's on our action for this afternoon. Welwyn Garden City, no Brad Watkins, no Charlie Crowley in goal, and also no central defence with Goloski and Steele. So a challenge, I think, Simon.
I think it is going to be, yeah, and obviously, you know, it presents a challenge to, to Mark with the, with the upcoming fixtures as well, and you just have to hope that there's, not any more injuries for him.
As away we go, the referee sounds his whistle, and Kings Langley kicking from left to right, wearing their home strip this afternoon, white shirts, black sleeves and black shorts, and Welwyn Garden City in the familiar all clarets have got a throw on that far side of the field. Only 6 wins here from 15 games. They had that terrible start to the season. Been a lot more convincing since then. Going to have to get a lot more convincing this week as well. Because in for another tough week. Hadley, who are top of the form league, come here on Tuesday. And on Thursday, Biggleswade Town, who are second on the table, come here. So no greater challenges to Welwyn Garden City than those two as they look to get themselves a place in that top 5. Plenty of interesting fixtures this afternoon, although leaders Bedford don't play. We'll keep you up to date with what's going on there at half time. Meanwhile, Charlie McDonald with the free kick drifts it over to the left-hand side of the area. Cyrus goes up, wins it in the air. It's hoofed up in the air by Will Bishop. Controlled on the edge of that area by Linton Goss, who plays it to his right-hand side. Brings James Mully in. James's cross is headed out by Jorrell Johnson, but Welwyn Garden City have it back with Manny Yaboa. Finds James Mully inside the area. Goss is beaten to it, and Kings Langley a chance to clear of sorts, but only as far as Charlie McDonald, who tries to send Cyrus in left-hand side, and flag goes up on that far side for offside. That's certainly a nice try with the move of getting Cyrus away down the left. And, they may be missing other players, but when you look at this front 3, probably as good as anybody in the division. 10 goals for Cyrus, 8 goals from 9 for Linton Goss, and 15 now for Durnell Winter.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those strike forces that the teams are going to really have to keep an eye on, aren't they? And I'm sure there's a lot of teams that are envious of the choices that Mark Weatherstone's got in this league.
Durnell Winters has been in sparkling form, scored 2 against Barton on Thursday evening. Bit of defending to be done as Rennie Howe gives the ball away. And Gucci juggles it off his thigh and then thumps it on that far side, looking for Durnell Winter. He can't get it in though. And Michael Gabler, who came on at half-time last week in the game we were watching against Ware, has got a start. He's played most of his football at a lower level with Harpenden Town, as his throw goes forward, headed on by immensely experienced Rennie Howe, of course. All those years at Bedford, played league football, popped up at Ware the other year as well. Played a dozen or so games for Bo Wolsey's team. And this season so far with Kings Langley, he's got 11 goals, which is perhaps disappointing for him. They've got a throw on the far side, which Gabler will take. Brings in Hugo Atkinson, puts it back down the line for Michael Gabler. He's got claret shirts all around him. Gucci goes in with the tackle, and then James Mully goes down. Flag goes up on this near side, and it's going to be a free kick to Welwyn Garden City. Kings Langley have only won 4 times away from home. Waltham Abbey, AFC Dunstable, Kempston and Aylesbury United. Been involved in a couple of interesting ones though. That crazy 6-5 at AFC Dunstable and 4-3 at Waltham Abbey. It's got to be said though, Simon, they looked pretty poor at Ware last week.
Yeah, I think they had a bit of an off week, and we weren't really sort of too impressed by them. I mean, although I didn't turn up until part way through the first half. But I think we said during that game after Ware went in 2-0 up at half time, and they just didn't look as if they was interested in trying to get back into the game in the second half, did they? There was no pressing for them. There was no sort of attacking intentions at all.
No, there was a strange lack of pace, I think, after half time. Having said Kings Langley played poorly, that probably is taking something away from Ware, who put in a very solid all-round performance as well. Didn't really let them play as Rennie Howe heads it on. Budo clears from the edge of his area. Gucci's beaten in the air, and Yaboa miscues, but will be picked up by James Mully deep inside his own half. Long ball forward down that right-hand touchline. Linton Goss is there with Gabler, who puts it all the way back to the 17-year-old goalkeeper, Gabriel Ortelli, who, having said the team didn't play well, he had a very good game last week. Was coming through and eventually robbed by Jorrell Johnson his Winter. Another punt forward by the goalkeeper, Charlie McDonald, who has come here on registration from St Albans City. Played first game at fullback, was 90 minutes live man of the match then, and now he's very much operating as a defensive midfield player.
Yeah, he's another one sort of that's having a good career and a good season here so far.
Ball out on that far side, or Telly goes to collect it. It will be a throw in to Kings Langley. Other games as well. There's games all round of interest this afternoon. AFC Dunstable at Tame, Biggleswade Town are at Leighton, Ware at home to Kidlington, Waltham Abbey away at Barton. They're the ones that really affect the top of the table, although Cirencester at Biggleswade as well. And also watch out for Hadley. I've just got this feeling that they're making a very, very late run. They're away at North Lee. You'd expect them to win that. They're top of the form league. So it's going to be a very interesting table come the end of play here. Kempston against Aylesbury. Well, that's a big one at the bottom as well. Kempston don't win that, and you've got a feeling that they could well go down.
I do believe, I mean, it was on the Southern League website earlier. I didn't check North Lee's Twitter. But I do believe the game between North Lee and Hadley is off today.
Thank you, Simon. As ball on this near side for Cyrus Baboy goes down under challenge, but in the end nothing doing, and ball will go out for a throw-in to Kings Langley. Lorenzo Johnson, the 19-year-old, will know Charlie McDonald. He's former St Albans player. Better known, I think, as a striker than a fullback, but playing very much at right back this afternoon. There's a ball punted up in the air by Sam Murphy. Welwyn Garden City get it back with Linton Goss. Good ball to Darnell Winter, right hand side of the area. Plenty in the box, one of which is Gucci, but it's headed out by Atkinson. And Collier will let it go out of play on that far side for a throw in to Welwyn Garden City. James Mully, the club captain, finds Darnell Winter, who's been left inside the area, right hand side, and curls one over with the left foot after a slip by Jarrell Johnson. And first sight of either side on goal with 7 minutes gone here on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct as we approach the final Saturdays of the season. And you look at this table, Simon. I mean, the top five separated by 3 points. You couldn't really ask for better at this time in the season, could you?
No. I mean, it makes it very exciting, doesn't it? As you say, going into the final weeks. I'm sure there were plenty of people that thought that there would be a runaway leader in this league, but to have such a tight gap in between the top five, all the teams that they're in the playoffs, really makes it for an exciting last few weeks.
Yeah, I can remember us coming down here earlier in the season and having a good chat with our friend Dave Coates, who's the chairman here. And we all agreed. We thought, Bedford are going to run away with this league. It's, Bedford plus 4 others, but certainly not turned out that way. They may be top of the table. They're only level on points with AFC Dunstable and only top of the table because they've got a better goal difference. So, having said that, they've got a game in hand. But, in third place are Biggleswade Town, who've got 2 games in hand on Bedford and are only a point behind. So, it's a division where everyone can beat everyone, and that really has been told. As ball goes out of play on this near side, it's going to be a Welwyn Garden City throw-in, which Ryan Kerwin, who had lost his place a little bit, is now back in the starting lineup. I think he was unfortunate to be on the subs bench, but back now as first choice left back at the moment, with Josh Bryant, of course, on the bench. Alex Harris clears towards the halfway line. Johnson's header is met by James Mully. Cyrus Baboy is in midway inside his own half. And Charlie McDonald skies it on this near side. Ball goes out for a throw-in to Kings Langley. Haven't won away from home since Boxing Day. That was their last away win. 2-1 Aylesbury United. They lost their last 5 on the road of Jordan Barks' team. As McDonald heads it out, Gucci can't get hold of it, and Darnell Winter loses the ball to Michael Gabler, who comes away on that left-hand side. Gabler looking to go beyond Charlie McDonald, but in the end just dribbles the ball out of play for a goal kick to Welwyn Garden City. As I said, Hadley and Biggleswade Town to come here, which is going to be a big test for them. Well, anything's going to be a big test for them with the number of games that they're having to play in this season. They have to go to Stotfold next week as well. As we know, that's always a tricky place to go as Darnell Winter comes away. Plays the ball inside. Gucci's in the area here, can't control it, and allows Lorenzo Johnson to get back on level terms and thump it out on this near side. Good move involving Darnell Winter down the right-hand side, though. Throw's going to be taken once again by Ryan Kerwin. The majority of the possession in the opening 10 minutes of Citizens on this. It's hazy sunshine, still some cloud above, but certainly a nice temperate climate as Cyrus Babai wrestles for the ball inside the box. It's finally cleared and then breaks on the edge to Yeboah, who loses out, but James Mully will get it back. On this side for Cyrus Babai, heads it across. Darnell Winter can't bring it down. Linton Goss, a cry from Cyrus for handball against, I think it was probably Will Bishop, but I think it would have been just a little bit soft.
Yeah. I don't think there was really anything in that. I think perfectly reasonable from the referee not to award the penalty there.
Ball's back in the arms of Gabriel Ortelli, the 17-year-old Watford loanee, and I suppose that's kind of fluorescent lemon, I think I would call that strip, as Kerwin heads the ball, but the referee spots an infringement, and so there will be a free kick to Welwyn Garden City midway inside their own half. A little bit of blue sky, it peeks its way through over on the left-hand side. I'm off the week's holiday after this, so hopefully that blue sky will continue, and I hope it's continuing for Brindley as well, who contacted us in the week. He's going to be listening on his holes, so hope the sun's shining for you, Brindley, and we can bring you some goals this afternoon from Welwyn Garden City as Green prepares to take the free kick deep inside his own half. Hangs a bit in the breeze, of which there is considerable, as Cyrus Babai picks it up left-hand side of the box, but the cross bisects everybody and in the end goes out for a throw-in on that far side. Rather one of those occasions where Cyrus was expecting someone to go on the far post and everybody was expecting Cyrus to put the ball at the near post.
Yeah, just a little bit of sort of miscommunication there, I think, and good work there from Cyrus. He's put it over, and a little bit too much on it for those running in. If there had been someone on that far post, then could have opened up a good opportunity. Throw
in down the line on the head of Rennie Howe. And he pushes the ball further forward. Could be a possibility here for Kings Langley coming forward with Louis Collier. Collier's going to fire in the shot, bounces off the back of Charlie McDonald and away onto that far side for Akinboise, but Akinboise's cross is high, wide, and onto the training pitch behind the goal away to our right-hand side. That's interesting. Is that Kings Langley flair? Must be. The only football team I've seen have got a motor racing checkered flag they bring with them.
That's exactly what it is, isn't it? It is. It's the finish line flag, isn't it? Yeah. Perhaps they borrowed it from Silverstone or something.
Yeah, that's possible. Might come and wave it on the end of the game. Donovan Green, who's a very able deputy for Charlie Crowley, the teenage goalkeeper, takes the kick. Headed the wrong way in the end by Yeboah and hit forward by Lewis Smith, but Rennie Howe hadn't read it, and Green will come out and collect it. All orange for him, by the way, if you're following the goalkeeper's fashions. Long kick forward onto the head of Atkinson. Charlie McDonald further forward. Will Bishop slices it out of play. And Welwyn Garden City will have themselves a throw in. You can see the problems with the pitch here because it's carved up already inside that penalty area away to our left-hand side, and has been a problem for them all season. I think, everywhere you look, it's almost it's the story of when I used to play golf. There's divots everywhere, Simon.
There is, yeah. I mean, it's not looking good, is it? And, there's large chunks of it. I've just. A few minutes ago I saw Gabriel Ortelli, pick something up and tread it back into the ground. And I know they've done a hell of a lot of work on the pitch. They was down here late last night trying to get it ready today. They was down here early this morning And they had wanted to get the roll on it and get it cut, but they weren't able to. And they are hoping to be able to do that Monday. So fingers crossed the weather holds up for them, and they're able to to get a good bit of work done it on Monday in preparation for Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, and Thursday. Yeah, absolutely. It's it's the bit kind of away to our right hand side which has been the real problem. Parallel to the edge of the 18-yard box. That's the bit which has really caused issues for them. But certainly not the only team that are playing catch-up at the end of this season. Plenty of teams facing plenty of games to play before the league cut-offs, which are going to stay the same. I don't think Southern League are going to change their mind, so got to fit those games in somehow. And it's a shame because, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday football for guys at this level is difficult. And you really want a clear run and a bit of momentum if you do manage to get into the playoffs, when you'll be up against teams as Collier snatches a shot on the edge of the area and it goes well wide of the target. But when you look at teams like Ware who've invested in the artificial surface, I mean, they're just sitting back and playing every Saturday at the moment, and that has got to be an advantage to them. Bedford have had their problems, of course, with their pitch. Waltham Abbey, they're sitting back with everybody. They've only got 3 games left to play, as have AFC Dunstable. So when you consider that, Welwyn Garden City up against it, but good team spirit and a good squad here. No reason why they can't do it. As Boudou skews the ball onto the halfway line, forward by Gabler down that line, looking for Louis Collier. 17 goals this season for him. He's inside Boudou and in the area here, to the edge of that area, snipped across, looking for Rennie Howe, breaks on the edge of the area. Lewis Smith thought about the shot and then thought better of it, dribbles it away to his right hand side, gets the ball across the box, which Gucci deals with, but it's put back on this side for Lorenzo Johnson. Lorenzo Johnson to cross, he's straight into the midriff of Donovan Green, who looks up and thought about an early distribution, but in the end the young goalkeeper keeps the ball, waits for his teammates to get upfield and then thumps it in that direction with his right boot. Linton Goss there. It's Johnson who won the header, up in the air once more by Will Bishop, and this time it goes out of play far side of the field by the Welwyn Garden City Football Club sign, and the Peckhurst boards. They are the sponsors these days, at stadium sponsors here, as James Mulley throws the ball down the line, looking for Darnell Winter, but ball will bounce off of him and go out, and gets, these players like Linton Goss, James Mulley are going to be really important in this run-in, because, been there, seen it and done it, and you need them. Brad Watkins as well when he gets back. You need that kind of experience.
Yeah, of course you do. Now, I think it's pivotal, as you say, especially at this stage of the season, to to have a few experienced heads and calm heads, around, not just sort of like on the pitch, but in training times as well.
Yeah, that's where they're going to miss James Kolosky, no doubt about that. As Linton Goss does well, wins the ball and finds Gucci down on this near side. Gucci into the area, looking for the run of Darnell Winter, but it's gone beyond him and straight to the goalkeeper Ortelli. Once again, good vision, but just let him down in his execution. Ball forward, Boudou does well again. Onto Atkinson's head. Alex Harris is there first, and on that left-hand side, looking for Collier, but the ball will run out of play for a throw-in. And Alex Harris, man of the match here on Thursday in the game against Barton, and a player that we follow his career right through from youth level, and I always had Alex down as a centre half, so he gets his chance here. Yeah,
it's good to see now. Obviously, sort of like a position he wasn't quite used to, or hasn't really been playing lately.
As Collier dribbles on the edge of the area, he's looked dangerous, but Mulley manages to get it clear to Lyndon Goss down the right hand side. He's wrestling with Atkinson, and Ball will go out of play. It's a good physical battle between those two. Hugo Atkinson, who made 17 appearances down the road at Hertford before shipping out to Harlow. Hertford at home this afternoon against Stotfold. Season going a little bit wrong for Ben Hurd's team. Could do with picking up the points this afternoon. They've dropped to 13th in the table. We're really hoping for a top 10 finish. Welwyn City have got themselves a free kick, far side of the field, deep inside Kings Langley territory. Darnell Winter is the man who will take it. Haven't got that much, they're missing that aerial presence now with Steele and Goloski not in the team, and Brad Watkins for that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, they've got a couple of players they can push up there, but I think when they used to push those two up for the corners and free kicks from their dangerous position, then they were really important.
Here it comes low from Darnell Winter on the edge of the area. Lewis Smith and Manny Yeboah are doing a bit of Strictly Gum dancing right in front of the referee. He gives a free kick to Kings Langley. We've had 21 minutes of the first half here at the back. It's Hurst, Pete and Simon with you on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct, and we stand at Welwyn City 0, Kings Langley 0. Keep you up to date with our other two teams and everything else going on in a very congested Division 1 Central. We're at home to Kidlington, looking for what will be their 8th consecutive home win. And I think even Steve King's going to struggle to find out last time they did that, if they've ever done it. And Hertford at home to Stotfold. Here come Welwyn City with Linton Goss. Good tackle by Gerald Johnson, though. Johnson, who is going to be leaving Kings Langley after 8 seasons at the end of this season, as Alex Harris is beaten to it by Collier, and Donovan Green does a very good job, the young goalkeeper, to come out and grab the ball away from Kings Langley's top scorer.
Yeah, it was good work from Donovan, wasn't it? As you say, just to turn to Alex Harris there, and he's managed to get past him. Donovan Green comes out, bravely dives at his feet and collects the ball on the edge of his area.
So Donovan still got the ball at his feet, right-footed downfield, looking for Cyrus Babai, who goes up and beaten to it by Will Bishop. Lorenzo Johnson tries to keep it in, but it's going to be a throw-in to Welwyn City. A smattering of claret hats and scarves behind that goal away to our left-hand side, and checkered flag and black and white away to our right. That will, of course, change at half-time. Such is the pleasure of following non-league football. Kerwin's throw looks for Linton Goss, right-hand side, left-hand side of the area. Linton does well, turns the ball across his Darnell Winter inside the 6-yard box, and really a goal out of nothing. Gabler missed the cross as it came over from Linton Goss. Darnell Winter does it again, 16 of the season for him, and Welwyn City with 23 minutes gone are 1 in front.
Yeah, that was a well-worked goal, wasn't it? I mean, that cross from Linton, it didn't seem much pace on it at all. It just seemed to take an age to arrive across. But Darnell, once it's come to him, he's taken it well, and he's slotted it into the goal to give Welwyn City the lead.
3 in a couple of days for Darnell Winter. 16 for the season, and he ups his ante into the 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Golden Boot as well with that goal. So
I think he's heard about it, isn't he?
I think he has.
It's going to have to be a late race and a late claim for it, because obviously, well, you'll hear at half time there is quite a gap to get that top spot, but there's still a chance, still a few games to go.
Yeah, top player at step 4, most definitely. He goes level with Brad Watkins, both of them 16 goals this season for Welwyn City. He's running out though, although linesman's flag goes up on this near side to demonstrate the fact he was offside. Welwyn City's record when they score first, well, they've won 10, lost 5 and not drawn a game this season. And as far as Kings Langley are concerned, they've only won twice when they conceded the first goal, drawn 3 and lost 10. So they've got a little bit of work to do. But Welwyn City looking for their second home win in a couple of days, as Linton Goss, who was very much part of the build-up, an assister on the goal this time for Linton, as Charlie McDonald thumps it forward, and here's Darnell Winter going down that right-hand side. He's got the bit between his teeth, most definitely. Linton Goss gets it from him. Linton's been pushed back by Michael Gabler. Plays the ball to James Mully, who threads it to the edge of the area for Manny Yeboah. Yeboah turns on the ball, puts it back for Charlie McDonald. Charlie McDonald puts it into orbit, into the area, and it's headed on by Gucci and into the back of the net from Cyrus Babai. Charlie McDonald's cross almost came down with snow on it, I think. But Cyrus Babai there, and Gucci has scored for Welwyn Garden City, and suddenly, in the space of 2 minutes, they've scored twice and lead here 2-0.
Yeah, that's more good work, wasn't it? A good header getting up there for Cyrus, and he's really climbed high to to make sure he wins that ball. And as you say, finds Gucci. Gucci has no problem there putting it into the back of the net, and a rather poor defensively worked goal there for Kings Langley to concede. And Pete, this sort of like throws back to last week, doesn't it? 2-0 down in the first half, a bit earlier in the game. But this sort of reaction to Kings Langley.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're Jordan Parks, you've got to look at the build-up of that goal. And Charlie McDonald did it into orbit. You should be dealing with that. There's no way that you should, let the opposition score a goal from there, but they did. And they lead 2-0, and Kings Langley, for the second time we've seen them, are up against it early on in the game here, against the team who've got their tails up. And thanks to Kings Langley, by the way, for putting details of our commentary on their social media. If you are listening from Kings Langley, sorry, you might have to do it from behind the sofa at the moment, because your team are yet to spark. For rather like last week, Louis Collier was the only one really who looked remotely lively last week, although Lewis Smith had a decent game in midfield. But really, it looks as if the end of the season can't come soon enough for Jordan Parks and his team. Surprising, because they were, of course, came down from playing their football at a higher level for a few seasons. But at the moment, they're very much second best, as Boudou miscues and the ball goes out midway inside the Welwyn Garden City half. I've seen games though. Saw Bedford go 2-0 up away the other week and end up losing 4-2. So certainly not all over for Mark Weatherstone's team. As on this near side, Rennie Howe gives away a throw in, which Welwyn Garden City will gladly take. And Alan Kerwin, got to say, Donovan Green's not really been tested, apart from that one where he had to come out to the edge of his area to grab it at Collier's feet. Apart from that, it's been pretty plain sailing as Linton Goss sends Darnell Winter through, and Gabler just shows a good bit of physical strength to hold him off. Goalkeeper's kick none too sure, lands midway inside his own half with Lewis Smith. On his near side, Lorenzo Johnson, and Welwyn Garden City belie the fact only 2 changes from Thursday night. I don't know what Mark Weatherstone's been putting in the tea, but you would not expect them to have so much spring in their step that they've got, having played on Thursday and Tuesday.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I know the boys are feeling it a little bit in their legs, but it's good to see. They obviously sort of like, I'm imagining must have been some good recovery work after games, and looking after themselves properly to make sure they're more than ready for 90 odd minutes on a match day.
Well, we'll talk to Mark after the games. We always do. It's always a pleasure to talk to one of the bright young managers from the Southern League. It's free kick to Kings Langley inside their own half. Conceded 38 goals now in the first half of games, Kings Langley, and indeed 38 goals in 16 matches and 29 minutes away from home. Just a little bit of worry as Gucci's gone down feeling his thigh inside the centre circle, but hopefully he'll be okay. Interesting with Kings Langley, of course, when these two teams met last time, Welwyn Garden City won 4-2. in Kings Langley, and Bailey Stevenson, who's on the bench, scored all 4. So you would think that they don't really want to see him this afternoon.
No, they'll be hoping he stays firmly fixed to the bench, I think. And I mean, they'll obviously remember what problems he caused them for that game. But I mean, Welwyn Garden City, they've got plenty of firepower that they need to worry about that's playing on the pitch and not on the bench.
Well, got a bit on the bench. Young Henry Jones has impressed us all season, of course, and Bailey Stevenson as well. You'd probably get into most teams, actually, in this division. So, long kick forward by Ortelli. Boodoo's beaten in the air by Rennie Howe. Lewis Smith brings it down, feeds it right inside of the box for Collier, pulls it across the box, and it bounced off of Alex Harris. And in the end, it goes out for a throw-in on that far side. Needed someone coming in the far post, and there wasn't anybody.
No. I mean, if they'd had someone coming in, it would have been an easy chance for them to get back into this game and get a goal back for definite.
Well, got an opportunity here with Michael Gabler taking the throw in. Gabler's throw, looking for Rennie Howe, still bouncing about in that area. McDonald beaten to it and finally cleared by Alex Harris. Up in the air, a back heel coming in from the number 8 Sam Murphy, but Welwyn Garden City get it clear on that far side. There's going to be a throw in which Michael Gabler will take for them. Gabler taking his time with the throw. Well, they did last week. There was no urgency about them when they went behind last week, which you would hope Louis Collier accepted. I think they will show a little bit more. Welwyn Garden City have got themselves the ball on that far side. 5 clean sheets, only found to score twice this season of Welwyn Garden City. Once here against Harford in the derby early on, which we saw, and once a couple of weeks ago when they went down 1-0 at in-form AFC Dunstable. Good challenge by Charlie McDonald, but ball threads its way back into the Welwyn Garden City penalty area for Donovan Green to bring it down. 32 minutes gone. Rennie Howe goes into the young goalkeeper. There's a card coming out here. It's only going to be yellow, but that was all about necessary, really.
It was, yeah. I don't know why he's done that. I mean, obviously, Donovan, the ball's coming back to him, and he's taken a little while to pick it up, waiting for Rennie to come towards him, and before he picks it up. But he's picked it up in plenty of time, and Rene's just pumped it over. I mean, knowing Rene, I mean, I think that's a rather silly thing for him to do, and I mean, it looks like it's only going to be a yellow, but I think he's a little bit lucky there.
Yeah, isn't he? It's very most experienced man on the bench. Should certainly know better than that. Rachel's out to attend to Donovan. And Rennie Howe is... I don't see any protested innocence there. He's having a chat with the referee, but I don't quite know how you can say that you don't deserve a yellow card for that. So the first one of the afternoon produced by Declan Wyatt. He's, as I say, he's a quantity surveyor, and if he'd surveyed that, I think he surveyed it absolutely correctly, producing the yellow card. Donovan's back up, and free kick inside the Welwyn Garden City penalty area as the blue sky takes over from the clouds. It becomes rather a pleasant afternoon here in Hertfordshire. Up in the air by Yeboah on bounce and takes it out on that far side of the field. Michael Gabler will take the throw in. 33 minutes in, Welwyn Garden City 2 goals to the good. 2 goals in 2 minutes from Darnell Winter and Gucci. And dare I say it, well in control of things at the moment. The referee is showing a yellow card and a red card to Rennie Howe, who's about to be sent off. Well, all changed there. He went in for the challenge, head down, looks at the fans behind the goal, says, "What did I do?" John Johnson is over there talking to the referee, and well, that's silly challenge, and sometimes that happens, doesn't it? You get a silly yellow followed by another, and he's off.
Yeah. I mean, completely unnecessary and completely avoidable as well. I mean, we've talked about it, on several occasions. That, sometimes those yellows, like that first one he got, that are completely avoidable, end up costing you and getting you sent off, and that's exactly what's happened with Rene today.
Well, Kings Langley really up against it now, down to 10. And 2-0 behind, and our referee had no doubt it was yellow, red. Thank you very much. He didn't think about it at all. So, hadn't been that type of game up until that moment either. It had been played in a reasonable spirit, but...
I mean, there was no protest from Rene either, was there?
No.
The referee, showed him the double card, and he's just turned his back and jogged off the pitch. Maybe he's got somewhere to be.
Well, it's possible, yeah. Who knows? Maybe he got the lounge around the garden. He's seen the sun come out and he's off. But, he's, I'm sure Jordan Barks won't see it that way. And if you've got a player as experienced, a former Football League player, let's not forget, and spent 10 seasons, I think it was, at Bedford, playing at a very good level, knows this level like the back of his hand, and it's just something you don't do. Two silly challenges in front of a referee, who quite rightly has produced 2 yellow cards. And I was going to say until that moment, actually, Mr. Wyatt, we talk about referees on 90 Minutes Live, haven't really noticed him, sign of a good referee up until then.
Yeah, absolutely. And what has got him noticed is he's completely not his fault. He's dealt with things perfectly so far. So he had no choice in showing either of those yellows to Rene either. So good performance so far from the referee, and long may it continue.
Donovan Green's got the ball, ready to take a free kick for Welwyn Garden City, midway inside his own half. Right-hand side of the field, it's got a low trajectory, helped on by Charlie McDonald. Linton Goss has got Atkinson all over him. Still managed to hoof the ball forward, out by Lorenzo Johnson, back in by Alex Harris. Back on by Jordan Johnson, and James Mully has to backpedal before thumping the ball out on that far side. Player gone down, Lewis Smith inside the centre circle for Kings Langley, and it's going to need a little bit of treatment. Said hello to his dad earlier on. He's sitting down in the stand just there. Met him last week when he was following Lewis around, as he does when they were at Ware, and it's a little bit of a team talk happening. Kings Langley getting themselves together in the huddle as Lewis Smith gets the treatment. Welwyn Garden City going over to have a couple of drinks. Well, Gucci's doing there. He's earwigging. He's just by the huddle there.
I reckon he might be, yeah. Linda's just posing for us for our video there. There we go. But yeah, I reckon Gucci's trying to listening as to as to what they're saying and what their plan is. I mean, obviously they need to come up with something, being down to 10 men. And I mean, you'd have thought they might have gone over to the bench, but I think they've got enough players there to keep a calm head and tell each other what to do and what the plan of action is, at least for the rest of the half until they can get into the dressing room.
Lewis Smith, so he's going to have to go off to come back on again. And I noticed Linda's wearing those flash trainers again, the old fluorescent footwear.
She is, yeah. I mean, she needs them, doesn't she? Because she does dart around this pitch, getting in all the different positions to take all the fantastic photos she takes.
Yeah, I know she does an absolutely brilliant job, Linda Babai, taking the Welwyn Garden City photos. Do have a look when they appear on the web as Gucci's away right-hand side of the box, pulls the ball back, and Linton Goss comes in. And, he was unbalanced, but it's unlike Linton Goss. You normally expect those to bury in the back of the net. But in the end, he stretched for it, and it went well wide. Yeah,
it has, hasn't it? And unfortunately, I think that's more sort of like, more to do with the issues of the pitch, that he's slipped and skied that one. But, good chance for Welwyn, and, more good signs that there's plenty of chances to come, hopefully.
6 minutes to go before the break here on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct. Going to be having a look at the Golden Boot and talking about a few other things in the half-time sequence. Don't need to tell you about Kings Langley because we did all that stuff last week, of course, including the Muppet link with the Harry Potter posters. As Michael Gabler will take the throw in, finds Murphy, puts it back on the halfway line for Lorenzo Johnson, who's closed down quickly by Cyrus Babai. Goes to his left for Atkinson. Side foots it to Bishop. Bishop's ball all the way just straight at Yeboah, who couldn't control it, and probably lucky for Kings Langley he couldn't, or they could have been in trouble. Bishop at the second attempt over his own head, up in the air by Alex Harris, all about untidy, and then Collier's beaten to it by Gucci. Ball lands on the edge of the area, and coming out is Donovan Green to collect it. So just over 5 to go before half time. If you're Jordan Parks, what are you going to be thinking?
Well, I mean, I think he needs to change something, doesn't he? I mean, obviously being down to 10 men, I think he's just trying to sort of see what happens towards the end of this game as to if he's going to make any changes. But I mean, again, I mean, they've not really sort of threatened anything going forward. I think perhaps the changes that he made last week was with the intention and thought of that possibly happening. But there's definitely something he needs to do.
Here's Lyndon Goss going in the area left-hand side, tries to pull the ball across, and in the end it's Jarrell Johnson who comes over and does a decent job and puts the ball behind for Westby. It's been so comfortable for Welwyn Garden City, but corner to be taken now on this near side is the first of the game, which is strange.
It is, yeah. I mean, you think, all the possession they've had, and the chances and opportunities they've had, you'd have thought there would have been one corner, but there hasn't so far. So let's see what they can create from this.
James Mully trots up from the back to station himself on the edge of the 6-yard box. Durno Winter one arm in the air, and decent corner comes across, met by Cyrus Babai, but in the end it rather flashed across his forehead as Mully came flying in on the far post over the top of the club skipper and out for a goal kick, which and Gabriel Ortelli will take. His defence really let him down on the 2 goals that went in. Not a great deal he could have done about either of them. It was poor defending from Kings Langley. Welwyn Garden City 2 in front and heading towards the 49-point mark, heading towards the 50-point mark in the league. As on that far side of the field, Kings Langley trying to get something before half time, but all goes horribly wrong for them in the end, and Welwyn Garden City managed to get it away from Atkin Boise, and Gucci just thumps it out on that far side for a throw-in to the visitors. Meanwhile, another I think all kinds of players feeling things. Budu is feeling his boot. It's James Mully actually, who's a little bit slow to get up and limps as he does get up. Certainly Mark Weatherston could do without any more injuries, particularly 2 defenders, in the absence of Steele and Goloski for the rest of the season. As Gabler's throw headed on by Charlie McDonald. He could, of course, drop into that back 4 if necessary. Gucci wins the ball and the ball goes out for a throw-in, which Gabler will take in front of his own dugout. Long throw forward, Buda who easily clears from the edge of the area. Murphy's beaten to it by Gucci. Linton Goss will bring it down and move away from Atkinson down this touchline, but Lorenzo Johnson had read his intention of trying to find Cyrus Babai and thumps the ball out for a throw-in on this near side of the field. 43 gone in the first half. Welwyn Garden City comfortable. They lead 2-0. Durno Winter and Gucci the goal scorers in the space of 2 first half minutes. Had other opportunities as well, and Donovan Green's had very little to do at the other end. It's Durno Winter now. Collects another one from Charlie McDonald. Durno turning inside Gabler, goes back to McDonald again. McDonald, who certainly looks the part in that defensive midfield position. Ryan Kerwin will pick it up now for Welwyn Garden City. Still inside the Kings Langley half. Mully sends Kerwin, the left back, going down the right. Ryan Kerwin runs past Murphy like he's not there, puts it across the box, but Gucci is finally beaten to it by Atkinson. And long ball by Lewis Smith, which Budu intercepts before gets anywhere near Louis Collier. So I think in the absence of those 2 central defenders and the Brad Watkins, I was thinking that somebody has to step up in that central midfield, and I think Gucci has got himself the number 10 jersey, and he's very much done that in the first half.
Yeah, I think he's done fantastic. He's got that goal. He's created another couple of chances as well, and he really is sort of like one one of those people who's who's found all over the pitch and is creating chances and causing problems for Kings Langley.
Here comes Linton Goss causing problems for Kings Langley down the left-hand side. Will Bishop is the defender. Linton's inside the area, goes through, and it's into the back of the net. Linton Goss gets yet another one, and just before half-time, a perfect bit of insurance for the Citizens. 9 goals now for Linton Goss in 9.5 games. It's 3-0.
Yeah, a lovely bit of movement there, wasn't it, from Linton? Good footwork, good little bit of trickery to work himself into the box, and he's just managed to sneak it into the near post underneath Ortelli, and give Welwyn Garden City a rather commanding lead just before half time.
Oh, what a signing he is turning into. Remember Mark Weatherston saying to us that it's 2 minutes to be added on, by the way. I've got a striker lined up. Can't tell you who he is, but it's an opportunity I can't miss. Those were his exact words, and he was absolutely right. And Linton, who was at Bedford, of course, and then what happened at Bedford was he was scoring goals, as he always does at Bedford, went out injured, and suddenly Bedford brought a couple of strikers in, and Linton thought, well, that's not very good, is it? And he's ended up here at Welwyn Garden City, and very much could be a man who's going to propel them into the top 5. 3-0 here against Kings Langley. Everything looking good for the Citizens as Ortelli chips the ball forward to the edge of the area where Alex Harris is wrestling away with Akomboise, and in the end the ball just goes tamely out on this near side for a throw in to a Citizen side who I think this is probably as dominant as I've seen them all season in this first half.
Yeah, I think they've controlled the game well, as we said. They've had plenty of possession, plenty of chances. They've limited Kings Langley to the opportunities they've had. And they've coped with things really well. So
goals from Winter, Gucci and Goss. Sounds like a firm of solicitors, doesn't it? Winter, Gucci and Goss, who've put Welwyn Garden City firmly in the driving seat here at half time. It's going to take some comeback from Kings Langley. Remember, they did win 6-5 at AFC Dunstable and 4-3 at Waltham Abbey early in the season, but they're going to have to go some. The home crowd are happy as Linton Goss comes across to have a little bit of a word with someone in the stand, but his 9th goal of the season added to those scored by Gucci and Darnell Winter within 2 first half minutes have given Welwyn Garden City a very comfortable 3-0 lead here at half time.
Yeah, I think Mark's going to be really happy with that that first half performance. As you said, dominating from Welwyn Garden City. They've really sort of limited Kings Langley to their opportunities, and Kings Langley haven't threatened Donovan Green's goal really at all. And obviously they've done themselves no favours going down to 10 men, and it's a big uphill task for them in the second half.
Yeah, it is very much a big uphill task for the visitors. I wonder if Franny Howe's still in that dressing room. Might be interesting when he meets his manager Jordan Parks, I would suggest, after he got that, a really cheap couple of yellow cards, really, when you consider it. There were yellow cards, but there were challenges to the striker of Rennie Howe's experience. It's certainly not to be getting himself involved in at all. So 3-0 here at half-time. The half-time sequence on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct. Simon's going to be doing the trip round the grounds to see what's happening elsewhere in Southern League Division 1 Central. Plenty of big games there, in fact. And look at the games that are happening. AFC Dunstable are away, they're in second. Biggleswade Town are away, they're in third. Waltham Abbey are away, they're in fifth. And Cirencester are away, who are sixth. So we're the only team in that top 5 or 6, top 6 actually, who are at home. And Welwyn Garden City, the others in seventh. So a perfect time for those two teams to take advantage of the comforts of home. Talking of the comforts of home, well, Eben Mabona in our golden boots. He was very comfortable last week. Hatfield Town thumped in 7 and he scored 4 of them to taking his lead at the top of the Golden Boot now to 14 goals. He scored 34 this season for Hatfield Town. 14 ahead of his strike partner Kamani Collington, who has got 20. Jamie Marshall of Hertford Heath also has 20. And Adam Bayliss, his strike partner at the Heath, has got 18. Kendall Giamfi plays his football here, of course, for AFC Welwyn, has got 17. And then we've got 2 Welwyn Garden City players, of course. Brad Watkins, who's not with us this afternoon, and Dernil Winter, who are both on 16 goals. So that's the top of the table in our 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Golden Boot. Football this week, well, on Tuesday here, Welwyn Garden City against Hadley, who were top of the form league today. They've been having a cracking run to possibly towards a playoff place, who knows. 7:45 kick-off here at the Bexhurst. On a Wednesday, in Southern League Division 1 Central, Hertford go to Biggleswade. Biggleswade play their football at Bedford Downs Ground, the New Erie, of course. That was a game we should have covered earlier on in the season, but was rained off. Also action in the Hart Senior County League Premier Division for Hertford Heath, who are third in the table and an absolutely superb season. They're at home to Oracle Components, play their matches at St Margaret's-Bury these days to Hertford Heath. And then completing the picture this week, Thursday the 11th, Southern League Division 1 Central. What a game in prospect there. Welwyn Garden City here against Biggleswade Town, who were in second place this morning. And Biggleswade, that's another game that we should have seen, but unfortunately was rained off. Next week, all 3 teams away. We're at Aylesbury United, Hertford at Bedford, and Welwyn Garden City at Stotfold. So what's been going on around the league?
Yeah, let's bring you up to date with all the latest scores and half-time scores. Game between Barton Rovers and Waltham Abbey, that is 0-0 as it was at the start of the game. Biggleswade, they're hosting Cirencester Town, and that is also level at 1-1. Hertford Town, they've got Stotfold visiting them. Stotfold have a 2-1 lead. And Morgan Mahoney with his first Hertford Town goal. Game between Kempston Rovers and Aylesbury United. It's the visitors who hold a 1-0 lead there at the break. And one of those sides who we were saying about, could be top at the end of the day. Biggleswade Town, they are facing Leighton Town, and they are Biggleswade Town are 1-0 up through JJ Lacey. Game between Tame United and AFC Dunstable, another one of those sides. AFC Dunstable, they are also ahead at the break, 2-1 against Tame. And the game between Ware and Kidlington is level at 0-0.
Interesting then. We start to have a look at the table. Ware could do with getting points there, because Waltham Abbey being held, of course, Biggleswade Town and AFC Dunstable, the teams in front of them, both in front so far. Would leave AFC Dunstable top of the table, which is something that people wouldn't have imagined earlier on in the season. It'd be AFC Dunstable, Biggleswade Town, and then Bedford would be the top 3. But you do worry for Kempston, don't you? 1-0 down against Aylesbury, and I think that could be curtains.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them, is it? And obviously they're fighting for their lives down at the bottom, so they'll be wanting to get back into things in the second half. And I do wonder, after we saw Ware last week, against Kings Langley, and they were looking really good in the first half, and it was a bit of a change because previously they struggled to get going in the first half of games and then turned it on in the second, and hopefully that's the case today.
Yeah, absolutely. And a little word about Hertford. I mean, for some reason it's just the wheels have dropped off a little bit for Hertford, who at the beginning of the year they were flirting with a place in the playoffs, but just don't seem to be able to buy a win at the moment.
Yeah, no, they're on a poor run, aren't they? They had a good run earlier on in towards the latter part of last year. But these last half dozen games or so for Hertford, they really seem to have gone off the boil a little bit, and those chances that they had of looking like possibly getting into the playoffs have really gone now.
Yeah, disappointing stuff down the road at the Smile IT. And, next week we have a choice of three, of course, as I said. We're at Aylesbury United, Hertford at Bedford, Welwyn Garden City at Stotfold. Aylesbury United, the only team not seen this season, so I guess that one beats itself.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to complete a lot, haven't we? So that makes the makes the sensible option to do that, and get the tick all the boxes, tick the final box in the Muppets link.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll be while I'm luxuriating on the beach. Hopefully this coming week, I will be trying to tick that final Muppet box. Aylesbury United play their games at Chesham these days, which is an interesting ground to go to. I'll tell you, go to Chesham, you have to be careful where you park your car. Because in the car park, they've got a WeBuyAnyCar.com franchise, so you could park your car for the football match and find out somebody's bought it by the time you get out.
Yeah, that would be good. At least you'd have a few quid for the cab home.
That's true. So that's our 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct next week. Live from 2:55 at Aylesbury United following Bill Wolsey and his Ware team. Just been doing a little bit of homework, looking at what teams have got left and where they are in form table and the maximum points they can get. And looking at it is at the moment anyway, you need 66 points to book yourself a place in the playoffs. That will change tonight depending on what things happen. But this morning it was a case of needing 66 points to book a playoff place. And when you do, it's really difficult to see, because normally you can judge what happened last year, where teams finished, as to kind of how many points you want. But to be honest, I've looked at this again and again, and I haven't got the faintest idea how many points you'll need to actually win the championship or even get in the playoffs.
No. I mean, we've said it so many times, haven't we, that it's just been one of those seasons where sort of teams have had had a lead on the top. I mean, sometimes quite a substantial points lead at the top, and then other teams have caught it up, and they've lost a few games, and someone else takes over the top, and not just the top, but those places for the playoffs as well. It's almost as if some teams sort of don't want to do it, and or go off the boil a little bit, and have a bit of a nervy few weeks. But it's been a really, really strange season. It really has. It's made it exciting, like we were saying earlier. But it's I don't think we'll have another season like this one for a while.
No, I don't think so. I think the last few seasons in this league really have been decided by this time with some teams that were a long way ahead of the rest. We had Berkhamsted last year, Bedford the year before. And, this really has been a season where nobody has wanted to go up. And I suppose the concerning thing for anybody that does want to go up, and I don't want to sort of, rain on the parade, as it were, that when you look at who's coming back down again, which are Berkhamsted and Didcot, the two teams who went up last year. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it goes to show how tough it is to go up and stay up. And it happened before in seasons before as well with Bedford and Lord Fleece. So it's obviously a big task for any team that does go up. But you get the credit, you get a medal at the end of it, and you obviously get that chance to play at step 3, which for some of our for our local clubs that would be a huge opportunity.
Yeah, you look at the club we're watching here, and I can remember the days in the Spartan South Midlands, and to think of where this club's got to, punching way above their weight, it's got to be said. But it's been a terrific, real example of a football club. They've got some great volunteers, they've got an excellent chairman, they've got a very enthusiastic young manager, and what you can achieve if you put all those bits together.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it just goes to show as well that you don't need a huge budget. We know that Mark doesn't have the biggest budget in the league, and it doesn't always come down to whoever's got the most money to spend, does it?
No, certainly not, because some of those teams have had a fair amount to spend and have squandered it, I think, is probably the word to use. And I suppose the only thing is you will need a bigger budget going up from this division next year. But it's amazing season, really. I've got no idea who's going to win the championship. I've got no idea who's going to finish in the playoffs. And until earlier this week, I was thinking, well, it's going to be one of 7. I think Cirencester have probably shot their bolt with the number of games that they've played. Welwyn City are right in the make-up. Waltham Abbey are the team that everybody probably is aiming up, bearing in mind the number of games they've played. And then suddenly, we've got the Grand National this time next week. Coming up on the stand side, you've got Hadley with the jockey whacking them with a whip, who look like they could surprise everybody. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, you often find, don't you, sort of like there's always a late runner, so to speak, that creeps up. Sort of like people aren't expecting them, and they go a little bit unnoticed. And that's what Hadley seemed to be doing. We were saying before the game that early on when we saw them, early part of the season against Hertford, and we didn't sort of like fancy the look of them at all. They were very, very poor that day. But they are making a late run and a late surge, and you could well be right, Pete, in saying that they might just sneak in there.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's against them, of course, is their game being off today. So, they're going to be in Welwyn Garden City's situation. They're going to have 6 games to play. And that is going to be pretty tough for them. And both they and Welwyn after today. I mean, 27th is the cut-off point. So, in theory, after today, Welwyn Garden City will have 6 games in 20 days, and so will Hadley. Hadley have got a similar type pitch down there, Brick Lane as well, which, could cause them problems. So, both sides. But, who would have said that both sides were involved in the playoff picture? Well, teams are back out. And Kings Langley will be, I'm sure, have their ears ringing from words from their manager, Jordan Parks. The flag, the checkered flag, is going to change ends. It was away on the right-hand side, going to be away on the left now. And Welwyn Garden City will be kicking from left to right. 3 goals in front. No changes, I don't think, to personnel at half-time. Although having said that, I think there could be a change occurring on that far side for Kings Langley, and there is indeed, as the board comes out. Welwyn Garden City, as you were, but Kings Langley are going to make a change. Tell you who it is when the board shows itself on that far side of the field, just flashing on. I think I'm trying to work out who's not out there, actually. It could be Lewis Smith who isn't out there, actually, the number 10. So I think it is indeed. It's Lewis Smith who's gone off, I think. He had that knock in the first half, and player who is coming on, we will tell you about in a minute. I think it could be Evan Napier who's just come on that far side of the field. Although just looking around, or is it Lorenzo Johnson? Oh, Lorenzo Johnson's actually been pushed forward, so it is, come on, turn around, what's the number on that back? It's Alfie Kane who actually has come on, and he will operate at right back. And I was saying Lorenzo Johnson is better known as a striker, so he's going to be pushed into a more familiar role in this second half. So, just about to get things underway, give us 2 team lineups when we get the appropriate change stoppage in play. The referee checks with both his assistants, looks at his watch. Sun continues to shine, and Welwyn Garden City are very much basking in it at the moment, 3-0 in front. Long kick-off forward that Ortelli has to collect inside his 18-yard box. Welwyn Garden City with Donovan Green in goal, James Mully at right back, Ryan Kerwin at left back, 2 central defenders, Yasmin Boudou and Alex Harris. Charlie McDonald is the central defensive shield in front of Manny Yaboa and Gucci, and then a front 3 of Cyrus Babai on the left, Linton Goss through the middle, and Durnell Winter on this right-hand side. Kings Langley have got Gabriel Ortelli in goal, Lorenzo Johnson, Michael Gabler, Will Bishop, Hugo Atkins and Jarrell Johnson, Louis Collier, Sam Murphy and Temi Akamboise. And Rennie Howe was the player who received the red card, having amassed 2 yellows in the first half. So they're down to 10 men, and it is indeed Lorenzo Johnson who's gone to play up front, the diminutive striker. As ball cleared towards the halfway line, Linton Goss wins it, but Gabler gets it back inside that Welwyn Garden City half. Charlie McDonald's boot was high, but it would just be a free kick and nothing else from the referee. Caught Jarrell Johnson, who gets up very quickly. It's going to be a free kick that Sam Murphy is going to take just to the right of the centre circle. The Kings Langley side, you would figure, really need to get something early in this half if they're going to make a contest of it. Ball pushed across the area and put in the back of the net. Having said that, they are making a contest of it. Jarrell Johnson, who put the ball in, Welwyn didn't get it clear. Mark Weatherston's not going to be happy with the defending, but it's 3-1.
Yeah, a well-worked goal there, and as you say, Mark's not going to be happy with that. Ball's come in, I had the chance to clear it. They've not done so, and Kings Langley have got back into this game earlier on in the second half, and just the start that they wanted, but not the start that Welwyn Garden City wanted for this second half. Well,
Jarrell Johnson has given his team some hope. The skipper scores his 5th goal of the season, and it's now 3-1. Ball on that far side as Kane lets it run out of play for a throw-in to Kings Langley. Kings Langley who've been pretty even in scoring this season. 32 goals in the first 45 minutes, 33 now in the second. They are the team, by the way, who've scored more goals in the last 10 minutes than anybody, even Ware. They've scored 18 in the last 10 minutes of games this season, conceded 11. So generally they don't know when they're beaten, although it certainly belied that fact the way they performed last week. Welwyn Garden City have got themselves a free kick. Just need to settle down a little bit, not let that early goal from the visitors rattle them at the start of this second period. Alex Harris will take the kick just shy of the halfway line, right opposite our commentary position on that far side of the field. It's got Gucci in advanced position to aim at. Long kick forward. Up goes Donald Winter with Atkinson. Gabler should get it clear and takes the ball away on this near side, but James Mully will pick it up. Finds Charlie McDonald. McDonald forward for Gucci. Gucci's ball inside the box for Linton Goss. Can't pull the trigger, and Will Bishop defended well. Long ball forward by Eamon to the head of Ryan Kerwin. Lorenzo Johnson battling with Budo, and James Mully will get it clear to Charlie McDonald. McDonald for Yaboa. Yaboa's ball forward for Linton Goss. Linton Goss for Gucci, who brings in Darnell Winter, but Gabler does a decent job again and finds Jarrell Johnson the goal scorer. Long one forward onto the head of Budo inside the centre circle. And ball picked up by Murphy. Good footwork by him. Finds Collier. Threads it forward. Looking for Lorenzo Johnson, who finds Jarrell Johnson going through. There's a linesman's flag up on that far side of the field. With a note that the Kings Langley skipper had found himself just a little bit too far forward in an offside position. Donovan Green will come out and take the free kick, but Kings Langley got a bit of skip about them again in the second half.
Yeah, definitely have, and I think obviously it goes to show that something was said in the dressing room at half time, I think.
Yep, not going to repeat it because I'm sure we couldn't. As Donovan Green, long kick forward, looking for Cyrus Babai, wins it up in the air and back out by Atkinson, back in by Cyrus. Atkinson lets it go, and Ortelli just about comes out and grabs it away from Darnell Winter, feeds it out to Collier. Kings Langley a hurry up, something we certainly didn't see last week. As Linton Goss picks the ball up, looks for Darnell Winter, but Gabler's in the way, and in the end the ball just goes out for a throw-in to Welwyn Garden City on this near side of the field. 5 minutes, second half gone on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct. Welwyn Garden City lead 3-1, where we're 0-0 at half time with Gidlington and Hartford 2-1 down to Stotfold, and two of the top three were winning, AFC Dunstable and Biggleswade Town. Gucci picks the ball up, drives it across the box. Bishop scuffs his clearance high in the air, then heads it down. Gucci comes in again, finally cleared by Atkinson as far as James Money, fires it across the box, rebounds out, and will go away for a throw-in to Welwyn Garden City on this near side of the field, which James Mully will take. Charlie McDonald is the closest player to him. But Donald Winter's got it now inside the area with Gabler at his back. Donald Winter back for Charlie McDonald. Good footwork by Charlie. Plays it to his left for Manny Yeboah. Couldn't get the shot in, and in the end gives it away to Alfie Kane. Picked up by Acton Boise midway inside his own half. Not really go anywhere to go but backwards, and does. Tries to find Gabler, who's almost robbed of the ball by Donald Winter, but shows a decent bit of strength to left back, then gives it away to Bodo. His ball forward for Cyrus Babai midway inside the Kings Langley half is won by Kane, and the ball will go out for a throw-in to Welwyn Garden City on that far side of the field. Citizens who've won their last 4 at home. One before this coming on Thursday night, of course. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday football for them for the next couple of weeks, as Yeboah picks the ball up and then loses possession. Long ball forward, only onto the head of Alex Harris. Forward by Yeboah again. Flick on by Dono Winter, and Ortelli will come out before Linton Goss can get on the end of it and collect the ball fairly comfortably. The young 17-year-old goalkeeper. I've seen some young goalkeepers in this division this season. Another one at the other end as well, of course. Dunbarton Green. We seem to be blessed with good teenage goalkeepers in the Southern League at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, some of them are on loan from other clubs, but I mean, we've seen some, as you say, some young goalkeepers and some very good performances from them as well.
As Collier comes forward for Kings Langley, Lorenzo Johnson's going to race James Mully to the ball. Mully gets there first, plays it back inside the Kings Langley half, where Gabler has to turn away from Darnell Winter and find the aforementioned Gabriel Ortelli. Ortelli's chip headed down by Gabler. Gabler then just chips it forward, looking for the run of Acton Boise, who just bundles into Alex Harris, and Collier got hold of the ball, but Kings Langley not happy with the referee, but surely that had to be a free kick.
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, I don't know what the protests are about, but clear free kick there in my eyes, and another green tick for the referee, I think.
Alex is just having a word with the referee and saying, it was irresistible force and immovable object. It was Acton Boise who just ran straight through him. Rachel's got up off the bench, but she's not required because Alex is going to play on, and Donovan Green will come out and take the free kick from just outside the 18-yard area. Goal away to our left-hand side. Bright sunshine in Welwyn Garden City, and not the biggest of grounds here on that far side of the field. What's going on the far side of the field over there?
Substitution. For Kings Langley.
It's Murphy that's gone off, and we'll have a look and see who's come on. Sam Murphy who's gone off, and we'll tell you that looks like Jordan. It's not Jordan Parks, is it? It looks like Jordan Parks.
I was just wondering.
I think the manager's brought himself on here, but we will see when he turns around. It's been a few years since I've seen him play. Long kick forward, looking for Linton Goss. Bishop heads it forward, up in the air by Gucci. Ball from Cyrus Babai on this near side. It's Gabler who manages to get the ball clear as far as Bodo.
It's number 16, Jordan Parks.
It is Jordan Parks who's on, as Cyrus Babai goes down. In goes Darnell Winter. And Welwyn Garden City open up a 3-goal advantage again. Darnell Winter just cannot stop scoring. 4 goals in 2 days for Darnell, 17 for the season, and it's 4-1.
Yeah, I mean, another well-worked goal there for Welwyn Garden City. Very brave jump there for Cyrus. He's just just getting to his feet. But what a week Darnell Winter's having. Absolutely fantastic. 2 goals here again today, and he's definitely getting in for that golden boot, Pete.
Well, 17 now. He's put himself in as Welwyn Garden City's top scorer. One up on Brad Watkins, and substitutions sometimes make a difference. I wonder what Jordan Parks thinks about bringing himself on, because as soon as he did, Welwyn Garden City got another goal.
But yeah, they did, didn't he? I mean, the ball was there for him to win, and it's come from that. But I don't know if he'll be giving himself a telling off after the game.
Here he is in possession. Plays the ball on this near side to Gabler. Darnell Winter on a hat-trick. And the ball with Bishop on that far side, and any nerves that might have been jangling after that quick goal by Jarrell Johnson after half-time have certainly settled now. Welwyn Garden City 4-1 in front, and on the way to one of the best home wins of the season so far. They can notch a few more as well. We've talked about the importance of goal difference. The goal difference at the moment has gone up to +9, which is doing them a big favour as well in that run in for the playoffs. Here's Darnell Winter again, loses footing this time and allows Atkinson to come away with the ball. Looks for Lorenzo Johnson, but James Mulley, who's not the quickest, but when you read the game the way that he reads it, you don't have to be the quickest. Has put in a solid performance on this right-hand side as well. Call him Denzel, they do, after the Only Fools and Horses character, James Mulley. That's his nickname. One of my favourite characters, actually. Here's Alex Harris going to take the free kick for Welwyn Garden City, about 10 yards inside the Kings Langley half. Sun shining here on them. They lead 4-1 as Ortelli goes up and collects it inside his 6-yard box. The young goalkeeper. I feel sorry for him a bit, actually, because I don't really think he could have done a lot about any of the 4.
No, I don't think he's really sort of been at fault for any of those goals at all. We've been left rather exposed for all of them, and when that's the case, there's not really a lot you can do.
Long ball forward by Ryan Kerwin, but Winter was coming back from an offside position. But Linton Goss has decided to turn on the sprinting power, and Ortelli had to hurry up and turn inside him just to collect the ball. Bowls it out to Jordan Parks. I think he was wearing a Barnet shirt last time I saw him play. Went on loan there from Watford. Was ball chipped forward by Bishop, and then further forward by Alex Harris. As Mark Weatherstone's there with Joshua Aqua, just having a little bit of a word. Makes you wonder with, what have we got, 14 minutes, second half gone, and 2 big games to come in the week, whether he'll decide to empty the bench at some point. As Hugo Atkinson brings the ball forward. Chips it on this near side. Mulley will let it run out for Lorenzo Johnson before he can get there. No sign at the moment of subs warming up on the Welwyn Garden City bench, but you would think Bailey Stevenson, Henry Jones, perhaps give young Ryan Ansell a bit of a run out. And just as I say that, I think he's tuned into us again this afternoon. As substitute, he's getting ready on that far side of the field as the ball goes out for a goal kick, which Donovan Green will go across and collect. I think could be Bailey Stevenson, who's about to come on. He scored 4 on his own against Kings Langley earlier on in the season, of course. Welwyn Garden City 4 this afternoon. 2 for Darnell Winter, 1 for Gucci and 1 for Goss. Interrupted by Jordell Johnson's goal just after half-time. Bidus looks solid at the back again. Chips the ball out this near side. Here is Darnell Winter down the line looking for Linton Goss. Linton's got Atkinson on his back, turns it inside for Durnell Winter, right inside of the box, possibilities again, Gucci missed kicks and the ball, saved on the far post by Ortelli as it looked to be bobbling into the back of the net. Charlie McDonald fancies a shot, won't fancy the finish though, as it skies over the top, and a good save by the keeper.
Yeah, good save there, and from him, good work. And that's what you need to do when you're called on in those situations. Even though you're 4-1 down at half time, he still needs to be alert and aware of what's going on. And he's kept the score down to 3 for or the gap down to 3 for Kings Langley for now.
It's going to take the goal kick from the goal away to our right hand side. Decent kick as well, lands midway inside the Welwyn Garden City half. Alex Harris can't collect it, Collier can. Good defending by Ryan Kerwin in the end. Robbed Collier a chance of going through with a run on goal. Kings Langley have got it back. Lorenzo Johnson there, and Donovan Green comes out and collects the ball. Kings Langley not happy with Boodoo's challenge on Johnson, but couldn't see a lot in it, to be honest.
No, I don't think there's really anything in that. And again, good work from Donovan. Diving at the feet, and very, very brave dive there. And for a young lad, he's certainly not bowled out of that one.
Throw in to Kings Langley, just shy of, well, in fact on the halfway line now, as Gabler will take it onto the head of Mully. McDonald brings in Winter. Winter's ball looked for the run of Linton Goss, but Linton hadn't made that run, and Ortelli will come out and collect the ball fairly comfortably. Bowls it out to Hugo Atkinson. Atkinson's ball for Collier, who's one of those players. I mean, he scored 17 goals this season, Louis Collier, but he does tend to drift in and out of games. And this afternoon, from a Kings Langley perspective, he's been more out than in, I think, as Ryan Kerwin hits the deck on that far side. Alex Harris goes in, and in the end, Kane can just thump the ball out of play over the top of Yeboah, and that out for a throw-in on that far side. Substitute continues to warm up for Welwyn Garden City. We've had 18 minutes of the second half here at the Bexhurst, looking very nice indeed as far as Welwyn Garden City are concerned. The leader here 4-1 in their attempt to sneak into the top 5 in Southern League Division 1 Central. And we'll look to take their points tally up to 50 points if they can hold on to this particular advantage. Alfie Kane with the throw-in for Kings Langley. Rebounds off Cyrus Babai, and going through is Akinboise, who fires it well wide of the target. Green will get near it. Akinboise holds his head, and well, he might. A bit more composure, and Kings Langley could have had 2 there.
Yeah, could have been a good chance for him to get him back into the game.
Just snatched at the shot and sent it high, wide and handsome. And Donovan Green just waiting for a small boy to collect the ball from behind the goal and then boot it out towards the penalty area. He's full of smiles. That's made his day. Always nice. Non-league football with young fans being able to get a little bit of a kick in the match ball. Durnell Winter, of course, be taken out home if he gets another goal. But he's got 2 to his name. He's got 4 since Thursday. 2 against Barton Rovers, 2 now against Kings Langley. Long kick forward. Cyrus goes up, headed down by Alfie Kane, up in the air by Gucci. Back on by Jordell Johnson. Up in the air goes Lorenzo Johnson. Akinboise is wrestling with Yeboah. And in the end, Alex Harris emerges with the ball and tries to thread it through for the run from Cyrus Babai, but finds Kane in the way. There's a backpedalling Linton Goss wins the ball midway inside his own half. Looks for Cyrus on that far side. Kane's in the way. Linton doing the defending again. Cyrus picks the ball up and brings in Ryan Kerwin down that left-hand side. The ball bounces in field. Atkinson's lost it to Darnell Winter. Plenty on the right-hand side. There's Charlie McDonald coming forward. McDonald into the area for Linton Goss. Good tackle coming in from Atkinson. Linton's got it back though. Charlie McDonald will put it across the area. He does. Far post headed up in the air by Kane. Brought down by Cyrus Babai for Yeboah. Yeboah again onto the left foot, leaning back, and conversion rather than a shot at goal.
Yeah. I mean, more good pressure there from Welwyn Garden City, and that shot, I rather feel it was rather hitting hope really.
And referee, I think it's got his book out now. I think it's Louis Collier. And the referee signalling it was for something that he said.
Yeah, too much chatter, I think.
Too much chat. So Louis Collier gets himself in the referee's book. Mr. Wyatt is far side. We're about to get a Welwyn Garden City substitution, the first one of the afternoon. Kerwin plays the ball long, looking for Cyrus Babai. Kane tries to keep the ball in but can't do so, and so is this the opportunity to make the change? I think it's going to be, as the ball's going to go up on that far side of the field. Mark Weatherston, who's got to manage his squad through this craze. Josh Bryant, who's going to be one that's going to be coming on, I think. It's Linton Goss who's going to go off, and Henry Jones will come on. Very promising teenage striker who's going to come on and probably go exactly where Linton's come from. And Josh Bryant has got himself ready as well, so he'll be in for another substitution, as there's one of these unscheduled coaching sessions and drinks breaks occurs on that far side. I see Josh with his tracksuit top off and leaning down to the Linda Babai coloured boots that he wears these days. We'll see who the player going off is going to be. Ryan Kerwin has just had a little bit of treatment from Rachel, so I've got a feeling it could be Ryan Kerwin who goes off, and it is indeed Ryan Kerwin who goes off. Let's hope that's just a little bit of safety with two big games to come. And left back for a left back, and whilst Mark Weatherstone has got to nurse his squad through this, but if you're Josh Bryant now, you're thinking, well, this is my opportunity to get in the starting lineup for Tuesday night.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as you say, that change is just about squad management, but I'm sure Josh will be wanting to start and press for claiming to start during the week, as you say.
Welwyn Garden City coming forward again with Darnell Winter right hand side of the area. Gabler is the defender. Darnell gets it across, controlled by Henry Jones, but his first touch let him down in the end. And Jordell Johnson shows a good bit of experience, but only as far as Yeboah. Cyrus Babai's intended volley is blocked by Bishop. Charlie McDonald goes up with Akinboise inside the centre circle. Akinboise then robs Yeboah, and the referee stops the game because Cyrus has gone down holding his head. Ortelli's not happy, and neither are Kings Langley. But once again, if you are going to stop a game, then you have to do it for a head problem.
Yeah, of course. That's the sensible thing that you need to do. You can't take any chances with that. We know it happens, and they're waving Rachel on right now, and Cyrus looks a little bit uncomfortable. I think he's going to be okay, but let's just see if Rachel gets the magic sponge out, or magic whatever you whatever you call Rachel, wherever she pulls out of her bag.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope she does the job. Our friend Chris White's in the audience somewhere here. He started all this,
Is it his fault?
It's all his fault. He started it when we did a Welwyn Garden City game at Kempston. Well, that's when we had the big debate as to whether you call them trainers, physios, therapists, or magic sponge people, or whatever. So it's all Chris's fault, really. So Cyrus has stayed down. There's no reason to take a chance with him if he's struggling. You would think that with Bailey Stevenson on the bench, that he's sitting up now, and Cyrus not the kind of player who want to go off, but he's going to be forced to go off to come back on again. as we approach the 25th minute of the second half, with Welwyn Garden City comfortably in front here on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct. 4-1. Brace from Durnell Winter, Gucci and Linton Goss, who's since departed. The scorers for Mark Weatherstone's side, with a little interlude provided by Jordell Johnson. 2 minutes into this half, Jordan Parks collects the drop ball and is then brought down by Gucci for a free kick inside the centre circle. Cyrus is making his way back into play, as Jordan Parks will take the free kick for Kings Langley. It's a decent one, but well headed out by Boodoo, who I've got to say, Gucci's gone down under challenge, but Jordan Parks has got it for Kings Langley. Gucci gets back up again, limping, as Jordan Parks goes round 2-3. Jordan Parks still going and then flies into Gucci with a outstretched boot. I don't know what angle the referee had on that, but that looked a bit nasty from me.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? I mean, that was a great run that he's gone on to, but he's just sort of stretched and pushed it a little bit too far, and no sort of sooner after Gucci gets up from one knock and he's back down with another one, and could be more work for Rachel to do.
Well, I think the referee's seen it and well spotted Mr. Wyatt. He's going to give Jordan Parks a yellow card, and it's richly deserved, I think. That was a poor challenge by another experienced player, as Rachel comes out and adds to her step count to have a little bit of a look at... in fact, she's not needed in the end because Gucci's got up. So Rachel has just added to her step count. We'll have to go all the way back to the bench now. Free kick to Welwyn Garden City, which will be taken by Donovan Green. And Jordan Parks has found himself in the book on another frustrating afternoon for Kings Langley, it must be said. Haven't really been at the races here, despite the checkered flag behind the goal away to our left-hand side. We're 3 down at a half-time. Gave themselves a glimmer of hope with Johnson's goal after 47 minutes, but that was soon snuffed out by Durnell Winter's second of the game. And Welwyn Garden City looking pretty comfortable again. Here's Lorenzo Johnson, though, for Kings Langley. The ball for Collier. Collier's ball across the box will be fired wide by Lorenzo Johnson, who thumps the ground in frustration, and a real chance went begging.
Yeah. I mean, another good opportunity for Kings Langley to get her back a little bit into this game, and I'm sure there'll be a little bit of frustration there from everyone.
Donovan Green with a goal kick from the goal away to our left-hand side, as sunshine gets a little bit brighter here at the Beckershurst. It's always a lovely ground to be at, with sunshine, trees and lots of greenery about. Long kick forward, Henry Jones can't keep it in, so it's going to be a throw-in to Kings Langley, who started out in 11th place in the league this morning, 13th in the form table. They will not progress much further up, possibly may manage to nab themselves a top half finish. Well, that's all it's going to be for Jordan Parks' team at the end of the season. They've got next engagement Tuesday night when they entertain Leighton Town. They've got themselves a throw-in far side of the field, which the number 4 Will Bishop will take. Played most of his football with Sarrett before arriving at Kings Langley. Takes the throw down the line. Lorenzo Johnson, who's looked lively since he's been pushed up front, certainly looked more comfortable up front than he did at right back in the opening period. Another throw in on that far side to be taken by Will Bishop. Bishop feigns take the throw and does again, and finds Collier on the edge of the area. Bishop with it driven across the area. Nobody there, but Jordan Parks will pick it up on this near side of the field. McDonald and Winter there. Gabler gets it back from his manager, fires the ball in, takes deflection, and Donovan Green has to watch it because it took a difficult bounce. Kings Langley fans, for some obscure reason, are having a real belt at the referee's assistant on the far side.
Yeah,
what that's all about.
No, I don't know either. And yeah, I mean, you know, I think Donovan he has to watch the bounce, because you know with the way the pitch, as you say, is cutting up, could take a nasty little bounce and deceive him.
Long ball forward. Bishop's there ahead of Henry Jones, but at the expense of a throw-in to Welwyn Garden City on that far side of the field. Boards coming out, and Kings Langley about to make their final change of the afternoon. Jake Tibbetts is about to come on. He's a teenage striker. Throw in to be taken first by Josh Bryant. Brings in Henry Jones and then gives him a poor pass, and Kings Langley will sort it out. Josh has got the ball back on that far side, making his way well down the line. Managed to get the ball across as well, but Ortelli reads it and collects it on the edge of his 6-yard box, then belts it out on this side, trying to release Gabler, but ball goes out of play, and it will be a throw-in to Welwyn Garden City, who are about to make another change, I think. But Kings Langley change. Tibbetts has got his tracksuit top off, but he's not about to come on at the moment because James Mulley's got the ball midway inside the Kings Langley half. Looks for Gucci. Back header doesn't really connect, and Jordan Parks just skies it towards the halfway line. Good header by Alex Harris. Back in by Jarrell Johnson. Up in the air by Charlie McDonald. And Josh Bryant will just thump the ball back into the Kings Langley half, and good flick on by Henry Jones, looking for Cyrus Babai, but Alfie Gain did a good job for Kings Langley, sorted that one out and threaded the ball out for a throw in, and substitution about to be made. Temi Akinboise is going to go off, and on is going to come Jake Tibbetts.
It looks like Ryan Ansell's coming off for Welwyn Garden City as well, so that's going to be interesting. I'm sure. I know his mum quite well, so I know she's. I've not seen her here today. I don't know if she's here, but I'm sure she'll be proud, and could be interesting to take a look at him.
Yeah, a good chance for him coming on for your debut with his side 4-1 up. Not a bad opportunity. Henry Jones was being held up there by Kane, and so it's a free kick to Welwyn Garden City on the left-hand side of the box. Don't know when Winter goes across. He's the one who's going to take it. In fact, Ryan Ansell just puts his tracksuit top back on. We've given him the big build-up. He's put his top back on now. But, hopefully we'll see him before the end of the game. Dono Winter will take the kick. Fires a high one across. Up they all go. Gucci on the far post got the final touch. But the ball goes behind for a goal kick to Kings Langley. 13 minutes remaining here at the Bexhurst. Welwyn Garden City comfortably in front by 4-1. 3-0 up at half time. Dono Winter starting it all off in the 23rd minute. 2 minutes later it was 2 with a Gucci header, and then Linton Goss right on the half time made it 3-0. Jarrell Johnson pulled a goal back for Kings Langley 2 minutes into this half, but then Darnell Winter's effort after 55 minutes has made it pretty comfortable for the locals since then. Throw in to Welwyn Garden City, far side of the field, which Josh Bryant will take. Young man we've followed. Remember Josh making his debut for Hertford Town, of course. Went to Cheshunt, didn't really work out for him there, and now very much part of the squad here at the Bexhurst. Ball goes out, and I think Ryan's about to join us. He's going to take his top off for the second time on the bench. Throw taken off the head of Darnell Winter, and are they going to make the change now? We'll see if the ball's going to go up. It's going to be a throw-in to Kings Langley, which will be taken before the substitution. Here's Tibbetts, his first touch, tries to pull the ball across the box. And it's blocked out for a corner on that far side of the field. Jordan Parks will take the corner for Kings Langley. Henry Jones and Darnell Winter forward, and only Alfie Gain marking the two at the moment for Kings Langley. This could be interesting if Welwyn Garden City get this corner quick, because Kane will be in a 2-on-1, not to his favour. Jordan Parks will take the corner then. Parks' corner goes all the way behind, and the manager puts his head down. Frustrating afternoon. 3 down at half time, down to 10 men as well when Rennie Howe was red carded halfway through the first half for 2 yellow cards in fairly quick succession as well. Substitution is about to be made. It's going to be Cyrus Babai who comes off, which probably not surprising with the knock that he took. Cyrus has got to have a lot more football to play. He's going to get a rest. And here comes Ryan Ansell with the bright ginger hair, who's going to play wide on the left for the rest of this game. 2 promising teenagers there, both he and Henry Jones. Jones is beaten to it by Bishop in the air. Here's Lorenzo Johnson, gives it away to Yeboah. Yeboah chips it forward for the run of Henry Jones, left-hand side of the box. Bishop's there and does well. Has put the ball out for a throw-in to Welwyn Garden City, which Josh Bryant will trot across to take on that far side of the field. Well, Kings Langley have scored more than anybody in the last 10 minutes of games, but they'll have to score a few to get back into this one as Josh Bryant finds Henry Jones, who shows a decent bit of strength. Old Bishop off, puts it across for Gucci. Can't get a shot, but will get the ball back across the area. Does. I mean, it's volleyed behind by Atkinson for a corner to Welwyn Garden City, which will be taken on this near side by Darnell Winter. Kings Langley pulling nearly everybody back. Boodoo coming up from the back. Alex Harris staying at home with Josh Bryant. And Darnell waiting for the ball to reach him on this near side of the field. As Ortelli just thumps it into the crowd, but someone fields it, and Darnell Winter will get the ball and prepare to take the corner on this near side of the field. They're all queued up on the edge of the 18-yard box. Jordan Parks, he's almost inside the 6-yard box, marking his own goalkeeper as it comes across, and it's headed out well by Atkinson, and Gucci's leaning back as he just swings a leg at it and puts it well over the top of the target. So 8 minutes to go before the end of the match here. Not too much to be added on, I don't think, at the end. So Simon, it's time with Welwyn Garden City 4-1 in front to just start that thought about man of the match, who I've probably got a good idea who's going to get it, but leave us in suspense.
Yeah, I'll get the clocks ticking and whirring and get the mind working.
James Mully with the throw-in. I'll say he's had a very solid game, as is Yasmin Boodoo, considering how little football he's played. He's a really good player to have in your squad. It's had 167th appearance. Big fan favourite here. The centre-back wearing 5. And he and Alex Harris have looked pretty solid duo so far. As the ball finds its way to James Mully. Mully's long ball forward, looking for the run of Henry Jones. And here's Darnell Winter going in. Darnell still going in. That's the hat-trick for Darnell Winter. Held off the challenge superbly. High fives, the fans behind the goal. And Welwyn Garden City hit 5 at the Pexhurst. And Darnell Winter's got a hat-trick.
Yeah, I mean, more great work. You know, I mean, he's raced onto that ball, taking it on, run towards the goal, and just slotted it into that bottom left-hand corner. He's sewn up the game for Welwyn Garden City, I think. And I think he's also sewn up the man of the match award, Pete.
I think he has.
Yeah, I think I don't think there's any contest. I mean, as you say, I think James Mully's had a fantastic game. He's if I say, without any disrespect, his usual dependable self. I think Gucci's had a really good match as well, and he's looked fantastic. But I don't think there's any argument for giving the man of the match award to Darnell Winter.
He's the man. Darnell Winter, 5 goals since Thursday. 2 against Barton Rovers and 3 this afternoon against Kings Langley. It's going to be Welwyn Garden City's best home performance of the season against Kings Langley, and just what the doctor ordered before a week which is going to see them face Hadley, who are top of the Form League, and Biggleswade Town, who could be top of the lot tonight, depending on how results have gone in the second half of games. So Darnell Winter, actually not only with that, with those 3 goals, he goes on to 18 and he raises himself right up into joint 4th place in the 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct Golden Boot as well. So I know you'll be talking to him afterwards, Simon, so don't forget to remind him of that.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm sure he'll be
delighted.
He'll be working to get himself even higher up there.
As the referee stops the game because Jordell Johnson has got a bit of a problem. I think he took a bit of a blow on the head. Referee right to stop it. I think things could go horribly wrong for him in the last 5 minutes, but I think it's for Mr. White. It's a decent game.
Yeah, is he just? Oh no, I thought he was just checking the ball. So he's giving a drop ball to Welwyn.
Well, you'll be telling Darnell Winter. We'll be having a word with Mark Weatherstone, and I shall be assuring Mark that I was wearing the odd socks again today as well, which have been certainly the lucky mascot for not only Welwyn Garden City but Ware as well, because they both look to confirm places in the playoffs, in Ware's case even higher perhaps. And the odd socks have done the job for both so far. Long kick forward. Buda, who not for the first time wins a ball in the air. He's not the biggest central defender, but he's got a really good spring about him. Alex Harris heads the ball out for Josh Bryant. Josh's long ball down the side, looking for Ryan Ansell, but can't find him. Ball goes out for a throw-in, though, for Welwyn Garden City in front of the Kings Langley dugout. And Kings Langley will be glad they don't have to see this side of Hertfordshire again, having lost 3-0 at Ware this time last week, 5-1 down here against Welwyn Garden City. And I think that Jordan Parks, who's out there, got himself in the book. He's going to lose running a howl for a game also being suspended and could be forgiven for wondering where he's going on holiday before he prepares for next season. It's very much the case now for Kings Langley. Ortelli, kick forward, lands on the head of Josh Bryant and is fielded by Cyrus Babai inside the Welwyn Garden City dugout on that far side. 3 minutes to go, plus time added on for stoppages. Ryan Ansell does well, wins the ball, hoofed forward. Kane back towards Yeboah, whose high ball is being chased by Henry Jones, who can't keep it in play. So it will be a throw-in on that far side to Kings Langley. Throw those straight on the head of Ansell, who just heads it out again. And playing out time in a game. But, well, to be honest, I think this game was sewn up with those 2 goals inside 2 minutes in the first half, really. I don't think Kings Langley have ever recovered.
No, I don't think they have. And, I think that's the thing like we said about them last week. They seem to go down and, their heads seem to drop. And, that does it for them. I mean, there was a brief spell, in the opening period of the second half, that they came back into it, and we wondered if they might claw their way back into the game, but nothing seems to have happened really.
There's Gucci midway inside the Kings Langley half. Darnell Winter again, and Atkinson this time gets the tackle right and takes it away from the hat-trick hero. James Mully chips it forward again. Darnell goes up with Atkinson. Henry Jones will pick it up. Bishop's there with him. Pushed towards the right corner flag and bundled over in the end to give Welwyn Garden City a free kick. So decent bit of strength for Henry Jones. He signed dual registration with Shefford Town and Campston, I think. It's the right pronunciation in Spartan South Midlands, but he's very much back here now as a member of the squad. Darnell Winter with James Mully to see who's going to take the kick as we enter the last minute of the match here at a sunlit Pexhurst, and the sun shining on Welwyn Garden City and their fans. They lead here 5-1. Could they make it 6? Darnell Winter is going to take the free kick. Another good free kick to the far post, headed out by Kane. Be a throw-in to Welwyn Garden City that Charlie McDonald will in fact leave. And so when you're talking about men of the match, I think also Charlie McDonald and Yazin Buda, who have both had super games, the pair of them.
Yeah. I think he's played really well. As we said, he's had to slot into that central defensive role, and Charlie McDonald. And as I said before, he's done fantastic since he
Here's Henry Jones, fires in. We said Welwyn Gardens said he might get 6. Well, they just did. Henry Jones has scored another late one. And you remember he scored the winner here against Wales when they won 5-4. And it's 6-1 to the Citizens. Henry Jones on as a second half substitute, thumps the ball in the back of the net. And could things get any better for Welwyn Garden City? 6-1.
Yeah, fantastic for Welwyn, isn't it? And as you said earlier as well, it's going to really do their goal difference, and a huge amount of good. Plus 5 goals for them today. It's a fantastic performance, and a fantastic result and performance for them going into what's going to be a difficult and busy week.
It's going to be a busy week, but they're going to go with their tails up. Henry Jones makes it 6-1. Welwyn Garden City's goal difference suddenly goes to plus 11 and starts to look very, very competitive.
Henry Jones.
Kings Langley. Well,
Kings Langley 1.
The only thing I can say, if you were listening from Kings Langley, thanks for joining us, but I did say it looked like a game you might want to listen to behind the sofa. Let's hope you did. It's been a horror show, really, from Jordan Parks' team. Not to take anything away from a Welwyn Garden City side, who are absolutely brimming in confidence and fancy 7 as they come forward with James Mulley. Down the line for Darnell Winter, he's already got 3, shrugged aside by Atkinson. Welwyn Garden City will have a free kick on this right-hand side. 46 minutes played in the second half, and free kick right-hand edge of the area. And don't know, Windsor looks at Josh Bryant. You thought Josh might want to use the left foot here, and he is. Josh Bryant is going to take it. It's going to be the biggest home win of the season here at the Bexhurst, and what a perfect time to do it. Could 6 become 7? Here comes Josh Bryant with the free kick, curls it in, but in the end curls it behind for a goal kick. So we'll talk to Mark Weatherston after this. He'll be a happy man, but I think we'll talk to him. He'll be happy at this, but I tell you what, I bet he won't be happy that they didn't keep a clean sheet, despite the fact they've scored 6.
No, he won't be. He won't be at all. He'll be, no matter what, he'll be very, very disappointed with the way they gave that goal away. And you can't blame him, really. And a chance for another clean sheet, would have been great for them. But he'll be disappointed, and I'm sure he'll tell us that as well.
Such are the standards, he said his team are here. A team that, if you remember, conceded 9 in their first 2 home games, being absolutely thumped by Biggleswade and Waltham Abbey. He actually apologised to the fans after they were beaten here 4-1 by Waltham Abbey. And here they stand on the verge of the playoffs, having put 6 past Kings Langley. So it's been some turnaround for Mark Weatherston and his team. Lorenzo Johnson picks the ball up on that far side of the field. We're into time added on for stoppages, 3 minutes into it, in fact, as Josh Bryant goes in and does superbly well to win the ball, but Johnson managed somehow to snaffle it back. Shot's going to come in from Jordan Parks, and Donovan Green collects it comfortably inside his 6-yard box and does the old Fred Burbage dying swan, just as he...
I don't think you'd expect anything else at this stage of the game, would you?
Absolutely not. I just thought Fred had patented that one. I thought he had a patent on it, but Henry Jones can't control the ball, and Atkinson will get it back for Kings Langley. Long ball forward. Boodoo, well, how many times and how many headers has he won? As the ball will break on that far side, Ryan Ansell will make life difficult for Kane, and does well, gets himself in front of Kane. And he wins Welwyn Garden City a free kick, and Alfie Gaines going to get a yellow card for kicking the ball away. So misery completed for Kings Langley.
Again, another one of them silly yellow cards that people are totting up.
Yeah, they've got 4 booked, and Rennie Howe, of course, got the red card for 2 bookings. So it's not been a good day for Jordan Parks and his team, as Josh Bryant will prepare to take the free kick from that far side of the field. Long ball forward. Ansell lets it go over his head, and that's going to be it here. The cheers are from the home fans, and why not? Darnell Winter's got the match ball. Welwyn Garden City have got 3 more points, and they stand on the verge of the playoffs. Welwyn Garden City 6, Kings Langley 1, 135 the attendance here at the Hexhurst. It all started with Darnell Winter scoring after 23 minutes. Gucci's close range header made it 2. 2 minutes later, Linton Cost drove in from the left-hand side of the box to fire the ball high in to make it 3-0 at half-time. Jordell Johnson pulled one back for Kings Langley 2 minutes into the second half, but then it was the Darnell Winter show. 55 minutes and 83 minutes made it 5-1, and a little bit of icing on considerable cake provided by Henry Jones' goal deep nearly into injury time, which made it Welwyn Garden City 6, Kings Langley 1. Citizens march on.
Yeah, a fantastic performance from Welwyn Garden City there. We've just had a smiling Charlie Crowley walked past us as well. He looked very happy with the 3 points, and as you said, I'm looking forward to hearing what Mark's got to say. I'm sure, as he said, he's going to have a smile on his face, and I'm sure it's going to be a big smile. But that will be tinged with a slight bit of disappointment for him, I think, in conceding that goal. But great performance from them all.
Yeah, biggest win of the season for Welwyn Garden City. 6-1 here against Kings Langley. Takes their total points to 50. Goal difference up to plus 11 from their 30 games. They've got 6 games left to play between now and the cut-off at the end of the season, which is the 27th of April. Those games come thick and fast now. Hadley here on Tuesday, Biggleswade Town here on Thursday, and then the trip away to Stotfold this time next week. The next 3 in prospect for Welwyn Garden City as they aim for that place in the top 5. Simon's going to be getting the scores together from around the rest of the league to see what the top of that table looks like this evening. 3 points separated the top 5 this morning. At half-time, AFC Dunstable were 2-1 up against Tame. Biggleswade Town had a 1-0 lead at Leighton, where we're drawing 0-0 against Kidlington, and Waltham Abbey were also level 0-0 in their game at Barton. Cirencester, the other team involved, were 1-1 at Biggleswade. The bottom of the table, it looked bleak for Kempston. They're 1-0 down at half-time against Aylesbury. So we will see what the scores have brought us in the second halves of games in the division. But certainly it's going to be a humdinger of a few weeks. This time next week we're going to be at Aylesbury United with Ware, and the following week we'll also be watching Ware. I think I can give that one away because Ware will be at home to AFC Dunstable, and that threatens to be an absolute blockbuster at Wadsham Park in 2 weeks' time. So they're our next 2 engagements here on 90 Minutes Live. Where have you been listening to us? Hope you've enjoyed your afternoon. If you were listening to us from Kings Langley, well, I think the best thing I can say is things can only get better after that, because they're unlikely to get worse for your team if you're a Welwyn Garden City fan. And I'm sure Brindley enjoyed that, wherever you're listening. Sun shining, bit of suntan, Umbra Solaire, shades on, 6-1 victory. So there'll be a bit of a holiday celebration this evening, I'm sure. And they will be celebrating inside the Welwyn Garden City dressing room. But we know Mark Weatherstone, he's not going to let them get carried away.
No, he's not. He's definitely not. I mean, I'm just trying to find the last of the full times. Just looking for Barton Rovers, seeing if that's going to be updated any time soon. But it's not. But while we're waiting for that, I will give you the rest. Defeat for Hertford Town. Stotfold added to their league, and Stotfold ended up 3-1 winners there. It got even worse for Kempston. I mean, you said that it looked like it could be curtains for them. They went down 5-0 this afternoon to Aylesbury United. It's just finished at a game between Biggleswade and Cirencester Town. That one's finished 1-1. Biggleswade Town, they had a 1-0 lead at half-time through JJ Lacey. That's how it's finished, and they have taken the points there. Game between Barton Rovers and Waltham Abbey, that was 0-0. And I'll just have a quick look just to double check, see if there's any finish on any sign of a final whistle there. There's not. And Tame United against AFC Dunstable, that is just finished, and that is 3-3. A good comeback from Tame. They were 2-1 down at half time, so that's finished 2-2. And the final one, I think I've done it a little bit of out of sync that's on my sheet, but I think the final one that I've got to bring you, good news from Watson Park. It seems like it might have been one of those quiet first halves and a better second half. We have won 2-0. We've got goals from Theo Afori, who's got on the score sheet again. And, John Clemo, who's got on the score sheet again.
Yet again, Theo Afori and Darnell Winter, two strikers in real big form in 90 minutes territory. Right, wait a minute. Deep breath. I think I've done it. You're going to have to work this one out. Biggleswade Town will be top tonight, played 31, 59 points. And Ware will now be second, played 33, 58 points. AFC Dunstable will be third, played 34, 58. Bedford will be down to fourth, played 32, 57. And Waltham Abbey will stay in fifth place, played 34, 55. That means the top four are still separated by 2 points. Wellington City up to 6, played 30, 50 points. They're 4 points behind Waltham Abbey with 4 games in the hand. Cirencester will drop down to 7th. So that's top of the table. Where goes second?
Well, excellent, fantastic news, and hopefully they can keep that winning run going, and take it into next Saturday for Ware, and obviously take it into Tuesday for Wellington City.
Well, it's I'll tell you what, I need a holiday this week just with all this going on. So plenty of football down there. Good luck to the Citizens this week. They're in action on Tuesday when Hadley visit, and on Thursday when Biggleswade Town are the visitors. Good luck to Hertford as well, playing at Biggleswade on Wednesday, and Ware can just sit there and luxuriate with their feet up, having kept another clean sheet, their 8th consecutive home win, which, 7 took them back to the 60s. Steve King, they'll be going back even further now to try and find the last time they won 8 on the spin at home. We'll be watching Ware this time next week when they travel to Aylesbury United, and we'll be looking at the top of that table, and I think we're going to have to buy an abacus to sort it all out by the end of the season. Yeah,
it's going to get worse and worse over the next couple of weeks, isn't it? But I mean, as we said, it certainly makes things interesting and keeps it tight. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's a bit nervy as well, isn't it? Obviously, you don't know, where any of your teams are going to end up, and I can't wait, Pete.
Well, who's going to win the title? Who's going to finish up in the playoffs? Who's going to miss out? Stick with us at 90 Minutes Live, and we will bring you all the action until the cut-off point on the 27th of April. And then, of course, fingers crossed, we will bring you action in the playoffs. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. And, if you're a Wellington City fan, it's going to be a good evening. You're going to have to take a deep breath, and your fans here are going to have as much stamina as the team, I think, the number of games they're watching, and build it all up again to a meeting against the team who this morning were top of the form league, of course. Unfortunately, their game was called off. Hadley, they're here on Tuesday. We're back this time next week. We will be telling you what the top of the table looks like from Aylesbury, live from 2:55 next Saturday. Aylesbury United against Ware. We'll leave you with a full-time score, a very happy Peckhurst Stadium, as we're off to have a little bit of a talk with Mark Weatherston, and man of the match, Darnell Winter. 5 goals in 2 games for him. It finished here. Wellington City 6, Kings Langley 1. Have a good evening. 90 Minutes Live commentaries are protected by a Creative Commons license. Any unauthorised reproduction for commercial gain is strictly prohibited.